Welcome to this edition of Wealth Without Borders podcast, and I'm delighted to have with me today Jerry Jones. Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you, Howard. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you, and I always do ask this, whereabouts are you in the world and what's the weather like today?
Yeah, I am in Malta, and the weather is, right now it's perfect. We're enjoying a later warm season than we're used to. So it's great.
Beautiful. I love Malta, actually. I went there as a small child, so I have many
really?
affectionate memories. And we actually, I don't want to talk about work, but we have a headquarters in Malta.
Okay.
Go and visit.
Right.
Make you
Well, maybe we'll catch up sometime. You're always welcome.
A cup of tea. All right. So for those of you who don't know Jerry is a cross-cultural trainer, a coach, and a transition specialist. And he helps individuals and organizations find personal and professional success abroad. And the podcast title today is The High Cost of Transition. So I'm really looking forward to this, Jerry.
Me too.
As you know, it's 8 questions in just 8 minutes. I've got a little stop clock, and I'll try and help you out by telling you how long is left. It sounds like a quiz show, but it isn't.
I'll do my best.
Okay. So are you ready to get going?
I'm ready.
Fantastic. So 8 minutes to go. Question 1. Who is your ideal client, Jerry?
Yeah, so my ideal client are international companies, and really that boils down to anyone who is doing business cross-culturally, leading a team of people who are trying to push towards the same goal from a lot of different perspectives, cultural and background and experience and all of that. So it's people who are doing this all over the world.
Got you. And 7 minutes 23 remaining. Question 2.
Hey, that's good. We're doing good.
We are. What is the problem that you solve?
Yeah, I help companies identify and reduce the hidden costs of doing business, working in an organization that is highly transient. I think the obvious costs are always out there. They show up on the spreadsheet. And it's expensive to do international business across the board, but there are a lot of, when you peel back the surface, there are a lot of hidden costs, and that's fiscal. But it's also, it's the impact. A lot of companies are about having impact or education, and there are barriers that stop them from meeting those goals. And there's also the human cost. It's taxing to bring people from different places and to get them to try to do one thing. And so I try to uncover what those costs are, whatever they are, and reduce them.
Fantastic. So a complex world that you untangle.
It is absolutely complex.
Okay, 6 minutes 12 remaining.
All right.
Question number 3. What are the typical symptoms that people or companies experience who have this transitional problem?
Yeah, that's it's layered. Excuse me. It's layered because there's the obvious ones. There's unnecessary turnover. There's assignment failure. There are people who have big ideas and they really invest a lot of their life into doing this thing, and then they get to that location and the external pressures really push them, and so there's assignments end sooner than they need to, or even if they go out to completion, they could go longer, and then you've got highly qualified people who are leaving too soon. That miscommunication is a huge symptom that goes way beyond language. Productivity, satisfaction, and ultimately what I think it boils down to is trust. Trust gets really, really pushed and really stretched, and that takes a huge toll on companies when they're trying to operate with mistrust.
Right. Yeah, that's key, fundamental to much
absolutely.
Of what we do. 4 minutes 50 remaining.
Okay.
Question number 4. What are the common mistakes people make or companies when they're trying to solve that problem?
Yeah, I think the big one is they throw money at it, and they throw money at the wrong things. They think that if they give more perks or more fancy things along the way, that it'll take care of people's problems, but the problems are really beneath the surface, and that doesn't help. Another thing, I think they, especially when there's a language barrier, they mistake translation for communication, and there's so much more to communication than just getting the right words.
I always think, don't want to take up your time, but I always think it's what's not said actually that's probably
Absolutely.
important.
Yeah.
Okay, so just over 4 minutes remaining. Question number 5.
Okay.
What's one valuable free action that people checking out the show today could implement that will help to solve some, if not all, of that problem?
I think this is in one area of what people do. I call it wrong end investment. And it's just a shift in thinking. It's for many, it's a paradigm shift. But I think what companies tend to do is, when things are going poorly, when things are going wrong, and when assignments are ending, or even when there's the first talk of an assignment ending, we're going to get out of here. What they do is they move to recruiting, and they get on the phone. They say, okay, get me another one. And they're investing a lot of money, energy, time, resources into people who haven't been through the process of adjustment and adapting yet. And if they would move that investment to the other end and really invest it in the people that they already have, it's a much higher return. Because you can invest the exact same amount of money into higher qualified people and not have to deal with all of the adaptation all over again.
Great point. 2 minutes 40 remaining. Question number 6. What's one valuable free resource you can direct people to that's going to further help them with their problem?
Yeah, I go to Hofstede. Geert Hofstede was a pioneer in cultural understanding, and he puts out he's passed on now, but his company still puts out some great free resources. And I say that there are other things out there that are deeper, that are stronger, but it's a great place to start a conversation and to start asking the right questions, which is so much better than really understanding or thinking that you've got it figured out. Just know where to start the questions.
Excellent. Great place to start. 1 minute 50 remaining. Question number 7. What concept or book or program or talk has been most impactful in your experience, Jerry?
Yeah, this is a concept, and I would just call it divide and conquer. And it's really about knowing the people in your organization and getting down into their heart and being able to separate them into the groups. Instead of asking the same questions to everyone, find out who the people who are really loving it and really doing it well, and ask them specific questions, but also find out the people who are struggling, falling apart, who have broken trust, and ask them a different set of questions. And then you can come up with a solid plan for moving forward.
Great. Well, it worked for Rome. No reason why it shouldn't work.
It did.
Okay, just 1 minute left. Question number 8. What's the one question I should have asked you that would give great value to our audience?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, I think it's how can people connect with their people? Because I think that connection is the key to moving forward into uncovering, reducing hidden cost. And the answer is that's complex. It really depends on who you are, on your personality, on all of that. And sometimes it means calling in a third party to help you do that.
Right. Connection is a notoriously complex affair.
It's huge. Yeah.
Great. Oh, well, thank you so much. You came roaring in there with 20 seconds to go. We could have 7 more questions, Jerry. You've really packed in a massive amount of value in a very short amount of time, which I always think demonstrates great expertise in your area. So we're really privileged to have you join us for the show. Thank you for being part of it.
Thank you for having me.
Many thanks for checking out Wealth Without Borders podcast. I'd love you to head over to iTunes, subscribe, and leave us a review. And if you'd be kind enough to do that, I would really appreciate it. And then if you want to know more about what I do, check out wealthwithoutborders.net.